Hello, my lovely audience. Welcome to another video. Welcome to whatever Zuku Midoriya, aka Deku, had the quirk, Death Eyes. Now, this quirk is much easier shown than explained. So, yeah, you're gonna see what it does in a little bit, okay? Okay. Well, technically here, but yeah. So, we start the what if off at the Quirk Doctor. This Quirk Doctor's different from canon. Yeah. And this guy's quirk, essentially, he can see what your quirk is. So, he would put his head on Izuku's head, and, well, would just hear screams. Just, that kind of slow zoom in with screams occurring. His eyes are closed. You have no idea what he's actually seeing, as he would just open his eyes and back the fuck off. Like, back up from Izuku, as he would just say, don't open the other set of eyes you have. Now, Inko would have noticed that, well, that morning, Izuku would have had a set of grey marks on his cheeks. As well, those grey marks would begin moving and trying to open, as the doctor would quickly say, close them, keep them closed, don't ever open them. Izuku would just nod, sad that his quirk seems to be very villainous for the Quirk Doctor to act like he does. Now, Izuku would arrive at the playground, a bit sad, but to everyone else, oh shit, there's just this sinister air about him. Bakugo still is an asshole. Blah blah blah, just everything canon. Except, well, Izuku just seems much more sinister and malicious, but it's still Izuku. But Izuku doesn't know why, but he just feels compelled to open his eyes. But he would remember the Quirk Doctor's reaction and keep them shut. The eyes by his cheeks, he would keep them shut. That night, he would go to sleep. And here's what he would dream. He would dream of a swamp with a patio, what looks like a marriage venue, hooked up to a swampy hut. There would be this old man sitting at the venue, like the little area where the wife... shit. Like, just the little hut. Not hut, not the hut that you would live in. Like the little venue, little, area where the wedding would take place, essentially. It's this hut with a patio, you would say, hooked up to it. This old man has a thin, crookedy, scarecrow-like body and messy hair that just kind of sticks out, kind of making him look like a scarecrow. His eyes are pitch black, except for its pupils, which shine with an unnatural red glow. He has a cup and a cardboard board, like a little slice, as he shakes, a cup with dice inside. Izuku would, in his dream, some of the black's, kind of water would pool as Izuku would emerge from the puddle. His appearance changed in the dream. His hair would be like white as snow, and his skin would be pale. He would have cracks in it, black cracks in his skin that make him look like a mannequin, and his eyes are just like the old man's, black almost entirely except for red pupils. He's lacking the grey marks by his cheeks. The old man would smile as he would look at Izuku. Izuku would look at him and ask, "Who are you? What's happening? I remember going to sleep and I was here, but whenever I dream, I don't remember them. What is this?" The old man's smile would grow wider as he would say, "Well, then, Izuku Midoriya, well, you can just simply call me grandfather. And, well, we share the same power, the same quirk. And, well, I can tell you all about it. I have a question. Have you ever played dices?" The man would shake the cup with the little cardboard board and open it as a set of dice would fall onto the table. The rules are simple. And, well, he would explain how to play dices. I myself don't know how to play dices, so I can't really explain it to you. Izuku would nod, it's a type of gambling, but he would ask, "Well, what does it have to do with my quirk?" "Oh, yes, has not that much, but at the same time it has a lot. And, well, I'm going to describe the dices to you because this is going to be an important thing later. The dices are black, with the dots being white, except for the 1 dots. When you roll and get a 1, the 1 dots are red. Every other dot is white, okay? The dice itself is black. And, well, grandfather would explain how Izuku's quirk works to him. Now, I bet you're all wondering, is this a reference? Who is grandfather? Well, I'm just going to say, this isn't a reference, this isn't entirely original, and feel more than free to either take the idea, the character, like anything you enjoy for this what if, and add it into your own story if you want. Feel free to take, like, grandfather, or, like, the quirk, or something like that. Feel free. I'm giving you all permission. Just make sure to credit me. Need that YouTube clout. Jokes. But being credited would be nice, if you do decide to use anything in this video. Time skip. Now, this is when Bakugo is being smothered by the Sludge villain. I'm gonna say this occurs 2 weeks earlier than in canon. Yeah, it happens 2 weeks earlier than in canon. So Bakugo's being smothered. Deku's beginning to get really pissed off. He is starting to get very annoyed at the fact that the heroes aren't doing anything. So that's when he would just walk forwards. One of the heroes would try, there, kind of keeping the civilians back, try and stop him, but he would just stop, feeling this sense of this immense sense of danger emitting from Izuku, we take a look through Izuku's eyes as the words, "Yes, do it, finally." These words would begin appearing in his vision, in every shadow, every nook and cranny. These words look like they were carved into an oak tree, very roughly carved into its bark. The words would be read as, well, in every shadow in Izuku's vision, there would just be the words, "Yes, do it, finally." As he would hear grandfather's laughter and cackling in the back of his mind. Finally, grandfather would say to himself at, the venue he lives at, as he would shake the cup, shake the dice, as the dice would fall onto the table, Izuku would open his other set of eyes. His other set of eyes are completely black with red pupils. As well, the dice fall out of grandfather's cup, and it lands on Snake Eyes. In case you're wondering what Snake Eyes are, it's when you get 2 ones. Yeah, when you get 2 ones. And remember, the ones are red, every other dot is like white, but just specifically the ones are red. So he gets Snake Eyes, as he would smile and chuckle. Izuku would open his other set of eyes, as the air would grow quiet, and, well, the sludge villain would feel uneasy, as an eye would open in a shadow, and another, and another, and another, and another, as from the sludge villain's eyes, the sky would turn black and then red, as hundreds of eyes start opening in every nook and every cranny, everywhere, even some in the sky, some giant, some minuscule. Hundreds of eyes would open up, and they would all, in unison, look to the sludge villain. As well, sparks from the fires set off by the sludge villain's Bakugo's explosions. Sparks from them would land on the sludge villain. His body would turn black as he would catch on fire, letting Bakugo go, and the sludge villain would begin screaming and begging in agony as his body would begin morphing, grotesquely reshaping into the form of a human being. His face and other parts are obscured by the fire covering his body. He would scream as he grows organs and feels the pain of them being rearranged in his body as he would begin walking forwards, but would fall over. Not because he tripped, not because of the pain, but because something grabbed his ankle. He would look down and see the face of the person he most recently killed. Yeah, his most recent kill, as the person would begin climbing up on him. The sludge villain would try and kick him away, eventually breaking free and standing up, but suddenly the person would lunge forward, grabbing onto his leg as it would begin climbing up him. He would try and back off, try and escape, try and get them off him, as more and more corpses of people he's killed, with their stomachs, chests, and eyes removed. Some have their chests removed, some of their stomachs removed, but all of them have their eyes removed. The reason their stomachs and chests are open and removed is because that's kind of how the sludge villain burst out of them, or killed them, and got out of their bodies. As well, they would all begin climbing up the sludge villain's body, holding him down, holding him still, as he stands there begging and pleading for mercy. His most recent victim would climb up to his mouth and shove his hand down his throat, as he would begin climbing down inside of him. Did I forget to mention this video is not for the faint of heart? I'm gonna have to put an 18 plus. Good fucking grief. Back to the horrific murder. The person would begin climbing down the sludge villain's throat, forcibly entering him as the other bodies, the other corpses would begin strangling him from the outside, crushing him as more and more corpses would go down his throat. He could feel his organs rupture, his throat burst, his guts get torn as they all forcibly enter his body. He would start crying. Is this what it felt like for all his victims? Is this how they felt? Is this what he did? Yes, it was. This is how they felt. This is their pain. Izuku would smile, finally being able to use his quirk, finally being able to get out the bloodlust that built up over years, finally able to kill. Fun fact about the quirk, it makes whoever has it much more prone to wanting to murder. Yeah. Much more prone to kill. As well, Mount Lady, who shrunk down, would try and step forward, try and stop this, try and get the sludge villain out of there. But as soon as she stepped, over the border set up by the police, the tape border, she would hear a voice. Everyone would. It's grandfather's voice, but no one knows who he is except for Izuku. He would say, "Well, well, well, what do we have here? Looks to me like the pitiful heroes are deciding to finally step in. How depressing. A young high schooler at the prime of his life, future possible great hero, and all around youngin'. Someone who could have been very beneficial to society, some poor child. The heroes did not want to step in. They did not want to interfere. Whilst that poor child was being smothered and choked publicly on TV. But now when the killer gets his just desserts, now when the damned and the dead get their vengeance, now when a killer is killed and our streets become safer, now they want to step in, now they want to save, now they want to do their jobs. But for the wrong person, you want to save a killer over a child. Pitiful. Now this voice echoed through everyone there. Every civilian, every reporter, every hero, even the cameras heard grandfather's voice saying these words as Mount Lady would step back and let the sludge burn, let him die. Zuko would be laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing, smiling as, he hears the sludge villain's muffled screams and pleas as his organs are ruptured and forcibly remade and ruptured and remade and ruptured. Every life he's taken, he will die. That life's death. Every life he has taken, he will die that life's death. Don't know why I randomly started singing, but 20 minutes of watching this man be reset and then having all his organs ruptured and his body crushed from the outside repeatedly. After 20 minutes of this, the sludge villain finally falls over and dies. His body would morph out of its human form into, the form of sludge dripping down. Zuko would shoot All Might a sadistic glare as he would smile and say, "Well, it seems like the heroes and the symbol of peace didn't want to step in to save a poor high schooler, but when you tried, but then you decided to do your jobs and try and save a mass murderer, and then dear old grandfather had to step in and, well, educate you all. Well, since I, a civilian, had to use his sadistic nightmare of a quirk on a random villain because you all couldn't just get off your asses and do your jobs, there's probably a dozen or so children traumatized now. I know my good friend Katsuki is. Anyway, goodbye." You would just wave them and just start walking forwards. The fire from the explosions earlier burning behind him as he walks back into the crowd. The remains of the sludge villain would drip onto the concrete. Anyway, 1 week has gone by. Bakugo has not even so much as tried to cross Deku. And well, no, wait, I want to do something. That night, Izuku returns to the dream he has every night with grandfather, as well. Well, a sewer grate has been added. Like, just a little sewage drain has been added onto grandfather's little patio. As, well, Izuku sits down across from grandfather, there would be a bubbling noise heard from the sewer grate as black sludge would emerge. A set of pitch black eyes with red cross pupils, like X pupils that are red, would emerge from the pile. As well, it would grow into a sinister smile, as well as a set of pearly white, sharp teeth. Jagged and sharp teeth would form a smile. As the now essentially reborn sludge villain would say, it really hurt dying like that. To think I'd die like that. I like you. I like the two of you. Don't know why. Just the fact that you killed me in such a sadistic way speaks to me on a monstrous level. Now, something my mother used to tell me. Follow the person who you want to be. And well, considering you just out sadistic me. Yeah, weird term, but going with it. Out sadistic me. I think I might end up sticking around. How's about it? A sludge-like hand would stick out. Zuko and grandfather would shake. Well, the sludge villain's hand. The sludge villain made an extra hand for grandfather. As well, a new partnership is made. And well, something I forgot to say about Izuku's quirk. He has, mouths on his hand. This isn't a new thing, it's something he's had his entire life in this what if. Like, the gray marks, which are his extra eyes just closed, and a set of mouths on the palms of his hands. These mouths don't have lips, they're just long-ass teeth. Fucking really long, flat teeth on his hand, which can open and close, but Now they have a new purpose. Anyway, yeah. Time skip a week. So Izuku's just kind of watching the sunset. As well, Bakugo's goons would walk up to him with Bakugo. Bakugo immediately is like, oh fuck no. As Bakugo's goons would begin messing with Izuku, Bakugo's like, you don't want to do that. I saw him kill a man. Long Fingers could say, Izuku would say, Izuku kill a man, really? I mean, me and, Tony, Wings Kid, the guy with the wings, I'm calling him Tony. Long Fingers is Steven, Wings is Tony, okay? Okay. Me and Tony don't really watch the news, so we wouldn't know, but Izuku, of all people, I mean, it's probably someone who looked like Izuku. Don't worry about it. As well, Izuku would let out a sinister aura, similar to the day he first awakened his quirk. As Izuku, as well, a bunch of eyes would appear in the shadows of the hall, as Izuku would say, in a very upbeat tone. So upbeat, it's creepy. You want to test that? Yeah, why don't we test that? I'm more than willing to kill again. So how about we see how many whips it takes to kill you, huh? Long Fingers Kid would back off, we really don't need to go that far, Zuko. Okay, good. Just note, if you ever mess with me, if you mess with us again, we won't spare you. And that's a promise. Lots of promise. With that last bit, Izuku's mouth didn't move. Much rather, the mouth on his hand would have opened, and a small amount of black sludge and pearly-ass white jagged teeth would have said that. Yeah, just sludge with white jagged teeth, and it's a black mass of sludge that's coming out of his mouth hand. Totally normal. Bakugo and Tony and Steven would look at that as a set of X eyes would move up out of the mouth, forming a smaller sludge villain. Look, Katsuki, I'm not afraid to choke you again. Except this time your little friend won't help. And at that, the sludge would go back in Izuku's mouth hand as he would walk up. Give me a moment. Anyway, yeah. So then, time skip. UA entrance exam. So, Deku wouldn't trip, blah blah blah. Bakugo would stay at least one chair away from Izuku at all times. And, he would still mutter to himself, talking to a grandfather, and the sludge villain, Ida, would still be a prick. This time, Izuku gives Ida a death threat, which he does not take lightly, especially with the vibe Izuku's giving off. So, entrance exam would start. Izuku would just start, running. Also, Ida would not fuck with Izuku because Ida watches the news and he saw what Izuku did to the sludge villain. He is not messing with that. He ain't messing with that. And to all those people who are shouldn't he have been arrested for murder? First of all, it's vigilantism. Second of all, sludge villain was assaulting someone. Third of all, you can be the one to put the cuffs on the guy who just tortured a man for 20 minutes straight, drastically altered said person's biology to torture him, and then used every person he's ever killed to crawl inside of him and burst his organs. Yeah, you put the handcuffs on that guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why he was not arrested. Who the fuck is gonna arrest him, All Might? Anyway, so Izuku would essentially just use the Sludge villain to smash robots, and well, as he's doing this, Sludge villain would ask, look, Izuku, not that I'm questioning you or anything, but why are we doing this? You know, we, like, all three of us have the extreme desire to commit horrific crimes against humanity, so why are we attending a hero school? Izuku would just kind of say, well, you see, it's because, well, we become a hero, we kind of can, murder within reason of the law. Just, like, attack and brutally kill villains, claim it was an accident, or, like, life or death. Hell, I mean, I've counted how many times Endeavor's burnt someone alive this year. No, this month. You wanna know how many times Endeavor has burnt a man to death this month? Which is the most painful way to kill someone. Like, just being burnt to a death. Iron, brass bull type beat. Sludge villain would ask, how many times? 126 times this month. Alone, Endeavor has burnt people alive. So, yeah, someone whose quirk can only kill, you would assume, they would be allowed to. I mean, All Might's decapitated 4 people. 400 people this month. Yeah. The, big old idiot punched people in the face and caused their heads to splatter against the pavement. 400 times this month alone. Heroes only or fire hazard, don't you agree? Izuku would chuckle to himself as the Sludge villain would chuckle along with him, saying, yeah, guess I never thought of that. Anyway, 0 Pointer comes out. Izuku looks at it like, I want to kill it. I don't care if it's not alive, I'm gonna kill it. So he would activate his quirk. A bunch of eyes would appear in Izuku's shadow. Bunch of spiral eyes. Like, the eyes can vary between, like, this but red, this, these kind of eyes, and these puppies, like, also these, I guess. They can vary from instance to instance, depends on who you're killing. As well, the eyes would move along, across the ground, go from Izuku's shadow and create their own kind of shadow path along the ground, going up the 0 Pointer's body. As well, the 0 Pointer would begin spinning as a black and red lightning would begin showing itself as the 0 Pointer would begin getting, spun into a tin can, essentially being each piece of it moving in a different direction, kind of like in a spin washer. Each individual plate, circuit, wire of the 0 Pointer is moving in a different direction as its body would explode into just this mass of wires and gears and, like, screws and circuits. The thing's, like, blown the fuck up. Izuku would put his hands on his hips like, I did good. And then he would notice Uraraka, like, crushed under the rubble, as he would just say to himself again, I did good today. He would just kind of carry her back. Everyone's looking at him like, you're that kid who killed the Sludge villain. everyone would just kind of move to the side, looking at him scared. He would bring Eureka to Recovery Girl, walk away smiling sweetly and waving at Recovery Girl. Everyone staring at him like, you psychopath. Was that necessary? Anyway, I'm ending this off here. Goodbye, my lovely, lovely audience. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye.